What's up, everybody? My name's Chris Marshall with my boy, Frank G. We are the hosts of Build Your Empire podcast. Frank G, tell the people what we do.
What's going on, everybody? Chris and I, we discuss established empires while showcasing us building ours.
You can catch us every Tuesday and Wednesday, and we certainly appreciate your listens. Leave us feedback. Frank G, we must have shouted out this person more than anyone else on our show.
Yeah, we did. Good old Tom, man. Tom Doyle.
Tom Doyle, we welcome you to the show. We thank you. We had to have you on because, I mean, you've just been awesome to not only us, but you're a listener, you're a consumer, and we want to have everyone on the show like you. You're the best, man.
Thank you. No, it's too much hype.
Yeah, man, we truly appreciate you. You even put our name on an empire like state building looking thing.
Bro, yeah, the Hudson Yards. You'll be there forever.
Oh,
so,
man.
Which kind of leads into the fact, what exactly do you do? I mean, you're a union worker, you're blue collar.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
tell the audience a little bit about your origin, what you do, how you do it, what do you love?
Yeah, so, basically I'm a union iron worker. So basically the people that are building those skyscrapers, see anybody climbing around on the bridges, shit like that. Oh, can I curse? I don't want to curse.
You can say whatever you want.
You can curse. It's
But,
no big deal. You be you.
You know, you get I'm a third generation, so my grandfather did it. My uncle does it. You know, he's up in the office now. My father did it. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't necessarily my first choice. You know, I did it over the summer when I was in college. And 18 years old, you're doing, 6 days a week, 10 hours a day. You're waking up at 5 a.m.
grinding,
going to the city. All my friends are going out. Everyone's partying. I'm, going to sleep at 8:30. I don't even make it to, the third inning of a baseball game. So
but
it's definitely tough.
There's a pro in that though, right? Because you had essentially a 9 to 5, or in your case, it's like a 5 to 2, right? 6 to 3. But I mean, starting early probably gave you the financial benefit of saving as well as the discipline to get up and hustle.
Yeah, it gave me a good framework, you know what I mean? So, like I said, I did it over the summer when I was like 19. I was able to luckily go back to school and kind of feel out what I wanted to do after that. And, after I finished school, I was just like, this is a waste. I went to CSI, College of Staten Island. So
I see you did a bachelor program.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
I went to, I got into St. John's, I got into these places, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. It was a waste of money at that point. You're paying.
I always say that.
Paying student loans back, and then who has that money? You know what I'm saying?
100%. I mean, in fact, me and Frank, we went to CSI as well. And, we're
you, baby, Victory Boulevard University.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Dolphins. But I always find it funny how, I'm a white collar salesman making as much money as the asshole next to me who went to like Duke, who has loans.
Absolutely. That's the thing. People think you get that degree. There's always going to be someone doing the same thing. There's no difference. Same thing with nurses and teachers. CSI is a great nursing program. They go through CSI. You're making the same amount of money someone's making that they came out of Wagner or wherever the hell they went.
It's all the same.
How much time,
Well, I don't even
more in debt.
I don't even think blue collar and white collar is the same as it once was, because I mean, obviously in I don't know, I think it was coined in the 1920s, the term white collar typically made more money than blue collar workers. Now everyone goes to college. That's not really the case anymore. I mean, you're out of college and you're making 40 grand.
Well,
yeah, you start at the bottom no matter where you go. So like with my job, fortunate enough, you get at people that were just getting in. Granted, you start as an apprentice, you're still making, take home $22 an hour plus another $50 in benefits.
But you're an apprentice for a couple of years, right? It takes 5 years.
You definitely do have to go through school. So with my trade itself, it's a 3-year apprenticeship, which I just finished my 3rd year. Now.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, luckily enough, I was able to work and get paid as a journeyman before, I finished. So I definitely was able to make more money, but still you get on jobs where like the Trade Center, when they were building that, you're doing 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. It doesn't matter how much you're making, you're stacking up money and you're not going to spend it anywhere.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
it's tough, Frank G. That's tough, man. You're in the heat. You're in the cold.
Terrible. It's
I
awful.
mean, you have to be chafing like a motherfucker.
yeah, you need
It's
some
brutal.
powder in your back pocket.
That's
Oh,
why he's got the nooner.
Yeah, I believe it, man. It's
it
been
gets you through those
scorching.
rough ones. But it's not just that too. It's like you're on a job site with 200 people.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, Chris, you know better than anybody. Sometimes you're in a tough spot. You gotta drop a deuce. You're not back to class. The
he
only thing
lit.
you got is a porta potty
I,
that 40 other people
bro,
use that day.
I'll tell you. There's one of the worst feelings in the world is taking a deuce when you're fucking sweaty and gross.
Try doing it in a porta potty after
It
300
sounds rough.
guys went in there. Oh, it's terrible.
you gotta
I
do
mean,
it on the overtime hours.
Yeah, well, that's the age old saying. Boss makes a dollar, I make a dime. That's why I poop on company time.
man, my brother taught me that early. Make sure you take all your shits during your work hours.
During the company time.
Yeah, but it's just different, right? Because I'm in an office, Frank G's in a store, he's wearing like a suit, I'm wearing, casual dress clothes. You're in jeans, sweating your balls off, 1,000 feet high. First off, I don't. Can you deal with heights, Frank? I don't know if I want to deal with that.
I could deal with heights. I mean, I
Fuck
would
that.
I would have to be able to. I potentially have, I'm a white collar worker, but there's blue collar work potential in my future, So like, I can't be scared of heights.
Yeah, you get used to it. I mean, it's definitely awful. My biggest thing is dropping something. That's where my like phobia and anxiety comes from. You're on the side of the building, you're putting bolts in, you're moving around, you have all your tools on your belt. One bad move.
That would fall through somebody's head, come out there like asshole.
Done.
It's terrifying.
I could
But
imagine.
you get used to it, and it's.
Are you liable if that was to happen? If you
Yeah.
accident, you
I think-
personally or the company?
Well, the company definitely takes the brunt of it, and then, they deem it an accident, whatever it is, and then they go through the proper channels where, we're covering you. You didn't do it. Who was it?
And now
there's no
also,
proof of you.
do you have a savings retirement plan?
Yeah.
Like we have a 401k. Is it different as a union worker? How's that situated?
Yeah, so we have a annuity that they take money out of your check. Every week goes into an annuity, and you have essentially 3 separate saving funds. So you got a vacation fund, which is about $20 an hour. That just goes. It's taxed already, and you can
You
take
get
out.
that paid though twice a year, I think, right?
No,
Twice a
so
year?
with my trade, certain ones they only let you take it out twice a year. Mine, you could let it sit, let that shit build. My buddy didn't touch it for 3 years while he was in school. Took it out, 120, put a down payment on the house. You know what I mean?
Boom. That's the way to rock.
So you got that fund. There's another fund called Topping Out Fund, which is very similar. They don't let you take that out unless it's like medical emergency, stuff like that. Maybe a down payment on a house, and then you have your annuity, which you can't touch. That's your pension, but you can take a loan out against that, and then.
So these seem like all benefits to being a blue collar worker, right?
Absolutely.
Do you think you took a blue collar job because of these benefits that you see they give you the security of, union backing you up, not being fired. You have, all what you just described.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it definitely helps, knowing that, you think back, because I don't know if you guys had the same thought process as me. And, I definitely was in sales. I was in sales to begin with, but
what type of sales?
Tough deal. I worked at a home improvement company, granite company. So I was dealing with a lot of people on Staten Island where,
Staten Island's actually tough to sell to.
Brutal.
They're the snobby Italian
Awful.
know-it-all. Yeah, Staten Island is a tough sale for certain.
So you go from that, and then it's like, okay, do I want to do I do FDNY? Do I want to be a cop? I don't know. Do I want to be a cop, or do I want to appear to be a cop and just go with the motions? And it's tough because people think too. It's like, oh, you're from Staten Island, you're either a cop, a fireman, or
Or a nurse, like
or a union
if
worker.
if you're a girl, you're either a nurse or a teacher. So
yeah.
it kind of puts you in a corner there. But it was kind of an easy decision to me because I had an offer. My uncle does it, and he kind of pitched it pretty well to me, which is, I was dating my girlfriend at the time. Hey, well, my wife.
And now you're married,
Yeah.
and now it's got to be difficult to be married and older and have the freedom to, I guess, change industries if you wanted to. Like that is what sucks about getting older.
Yeah, it's, when you're younger, even, before you're married and stuff like that, it's like, well, if I really don't like this, there's still time. You know what I mean? I'm 27, so I kind of consider myself aged out.
27. I thought you were older than me, and you're younger than me.
Nah, I didn't want to,
I don't know how I feel.
my job, granted, I could go, like, they offer, when they were building the new Falcon Stadium down in Atlanta,
you could have went over there, but why?
Yeah,
would
they
you do that
offer
with your
guys
wife?
work there.
Yeah.
Same thing with Vegas, but Vegas, you're working in 120-degree
Now,
weather.
are you? This is actually an interesting question because, like, my father, he's retired. He's almost 70 years old. He's having back problems, and I have back problems.
I was going to ask this. Yeah.
I directly correlate that to a desk job. Now, although there's a bunch of ailments that could occur from a white-collar office desk job, I would imagine blue-collar man working with his hands is way more dangerous to get injured now and even in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough. The amount of guys, that's why I don't wear this at work. You'll lose a finger.
Oh, you'll lose that. Oh, that thing will come right off.
The amount of times I've seen stuff fall, my buddy, I could send you pictures. I'll show you.
Not if it's bloody.
My buddy fell two floors onto some steel.
That sounds horrible.
Looks like scene out of Jaws. Ripped
Frank
right
G sent me a photo of his nail chopped off the other day, and it was gross.
Listen, it's no matter what you do, as long as you do it carefully, you should be fine. But it's definitely a backbreaking job. You're picking up 100 pounds of material and walking up and down stairs, climbing on iron.
Well,
if it doesn't catch you now, it'll catch you later.
It seems like blue collar. I mean, you're just putting yourself in your manual labor. So you're around heavy machinery, around like heavy things. And when you're white collar, your injuries seem like it really occurs more of like an overtime kind of thing due to, well, it seems like more like posture, to be honest, or like sitting in front of yeah, exactly. Typing or sitting at your desk for 8 hours a day.
I bet you there's more obesity in office world than blue collar world.
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of fat guys in my job.
I see that, but like there's a lot of big guys working construction, but I mean they are lifting heavy shit all day, so I'm assuming they're semi in shape.
Yeah, I mean a lot of the big dudes you'll see, they carry a lot of stuff, and especially they're older. So if they've been around for a while, maybe when they were younger, they were these big, monsters, and then they got hurt, and then the union looks out for these guys. They'll give them a foreman gig or do something else.
Now, you definitely had to work throughout the pandemic, correct? You're an essential worker.
No. So I mean, I guess some companies had them working, if like on bridges, stuff like that, they were. So the building I'm putting up is like Facebook building, essentially. I think Facebook owns like 30% of it. And we closed April 1st when they shut down all construction. We shut down. So I thought we were, it was creepy. It was quiet in the city. You look at 10th Avenue, there's nobody coming.
I haven't been to the city in forever, but I have a couple of cop friends. They say it's disgusting, garbage everywhere.
Now it's awful.
It's that bad? Oh, that's sad.
Well, listen, you see a lot of homeless people, a lot of garbage going around, and you want to figure it out, like, oh, maybe things just haven't been the same. So when there's more people, they'll give them more inclination to clean up. But the only people working are like essential workers, I guess, more or less. I don't consider myself essential because I'm putting up a building for,
You're working now. So when did you go back?
I went back June 1st. So I was off like a good 2 months.
All right. A lot of people went back kind of recently.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like they pick and choose kind of what's essential. Like we weren't essential, then we were, and then we weren't. It's not like we're delivering food or something like that, which to me is not that important. But
yeah. I mean, because I know a couple people that worked for the city, and they essentially were kept on as an essential worker, and they were just like in a trade. So I don't. But to be honest, I don't think they really did much. I won't say their name. I ain't gonna call them out. But
yeah, well, that's the thing. I didn't have with my job, which sucks because you technically are laid off, so you can collect unemployment. But my job was still there for me, so I had that benefit.
Well, the benefits also the union just gets you another job in a couple of months, right?
Yeah, they're always looking out for you. And I did my toes in stocks a while back, so I've been doing. I've been.
Are you in the market?
Yeah, a few years back, I got a couple tips, and I was like, oh, I could do it on my Chase app. So like every schmuck, I tried to do it.
Sounds like you lost money initially.
Nah, actually, I made a good amount of money. So I got in on Shopify pretty early.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
And that picked up huge right after this all happened. So
we had a stock episode where our guest said specifically pick up Shopify, and it doubled.
Yeah, so I got Shopify. I got a bunch of shares when it was at like 163, and now it's cooking.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So and the same thing I found about right before my wedding, I got a tip about Overstock. And it was like they bought like a bunch of cryptocurrency or something like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Doyle, the insider trader.
Yeah, he's got these tips.
But that's the thing. It's like,
man, what's going on?
You're walking out of the bathroom. It's like, yo, what are you talking about over there? So,
you gotta let us know.
So I saw that and I bought a bunch of Overstock, and then I doubled down when it dropped all the way down to like $2. So just off that alone, I made like 20, 25. You know what I mean?
May have to have you on the next Stock 101 episode.
Yeah, he knows
that's luck right there. That's luck.
A little bit is luck, but I don't know.
I'll take any inside information, whether I use it or not. I'll still take it.
I'm sitting there saying it is luck, but then again, he had insight.
Yeah.
A tip's a tip, a toll's a toll, and a roll's a roll. You know what I mean?
Now, Tom, let me ask you this. Where did you find our podcast, and where do you listen to it? It seems like you're an avid listener, which we love. We thank you. It's why we had to have you on the show.
Absolutely.
But I need to know those two questions. Where do you listen?
I saw someone reposted. I don't remember where, but I saw a story on the gram, and I was like, "Oh, all right, what's this?" I see probably right around the time you guys must have started the podcast. So,
December, January.
Yeah. So I was still commuting and I was looking for something to listen to. So I gave you guys a shot, and I found out, you guys are from, where I'm from. I'm very jealous of what you guys do, because I wish I had, the platform and
you can do whatever you want.
It is awesome to be able to just go on here with your boy and BS.
Well, you
really
think
give information to people that are willing to consume it. So,
yeah, well, you could do that yourself as well, though. I mean,
yeah. What am I gonna tell people? So you stick a bolt in a beam.
You wouldn't. You would potentially have a how-to. You can like a how-to thing. Like, I mean, you're a blue-collar worker. We essentially talk about things that we do in our lives. So.
Yeah, so that's very interesting, Tom, that you say that. Is me, you, Frank, we're all exactly the same. It's the same exact playing field. We may have different strengths and weaknesses, but at the end of the day, everybody's interested in people's lives. So if you just speak about it, you'll be surprised.
Yeah, that's right. And it's the same thing, too. It's a hustle's a hustle, whether it's what I'm doing, whether it's what you're doing.
Without a doubt.
You know what I mean? And you guys are, I know, Chris, you like to do your public speaking, your motivational speaker. And, it's very similar to the guys high up in my office, what they do. And, it's cool to kind of catch that glimpse of that world in my world, and, the Venn diagram where we overlap. So it's definitely cool.
That's why we had to have you on, just to have the curiosity. I mean, and shout out Rob. Who's Rob? Rob's
my boy. He went to he graduated Villanova. He's big in the tech world, and I told him about it. I was talking to him one day, and he was just like, I got to give this a chance. He's a big consumer. He listens to all podcasts. So I was like,
shout out Rob.
Shout out Rob. So Rob was
Shout
just
out Rob, my boy.
Yeah, Rob was just probably curious as to see what's going on.
Yeah, he was just, not sure. He's like, oh, what is this podcast that I keep talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But Rob actually just moved out to Colorado. So shout out Rob.
Shout out Rob. I wonder if he was in school during that Villanova last shot. I think he was. I think that was like 4 years ago. So
he was there.
Yeah, he definitely partied hard that night.
Oh my God! And now he's in Colorado enjoying himself. You know what I'm saying?
And Tom, that's hilarious. What's crazy is how you and a couple of others, we're so thankful and grateful you jumped on board early, right? And we're so far from the finished product and the packaging that in 2 years, I'm so curious to see what the hell transpires.
Hell yeah. That's the beauty of it. It's the ride.
Yeah, the journey, man. You never know what's going to happen, what could pop in front of your face, what opportunities. I mean, in the future, we may hang out soon. We may grab a drink when things open up.
6 feet apart, of course.
I think Tom's familiar with Brother Faz, I believe, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Faz, my boy.
Wow.
Well,
so this is a much smaller world than I realized.
You think Brother Faz, I don't know if you're boys with Joe. Ant's my boy.
Joe, yeah. I mean, I'm boys with both, but I got introduced to Joe.
Well, I assume you're older than me, so you'd be boys with Joe.
Yeah, that actually does make sense. That does make sense.
As my boy.
Yeah, I spoke to him earlier. He sent me a couple of hearts. I responded with a couple of hearts back. Shout out, Brother Faz. Both brothers.
Faz.
Is Brother Faz blue collar or white collar?
Brother Faz, I would say it's weird. He's a mix. He owns a business and sits at a desk, but at the same time, the business is transportation. So it's a mixture.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of jobs with mixtures and whatnot. I'm curious though, what do you think? I don't know if people think do you think it's harder to get fired from a blue collar job than it would be to fired from a white collar job?
Way harder to get a job from a blue collar, I would imagine.
Well, I do think blue collar is, especially being in any union, you definitely have to back up, but you can be, you do something dumb, they'll cut you real quick.
Yeah. It's not like in sales.
Showing up, not going into work.
But you're in your union. If you get cut, they find you another job.
Yeah, but if you're constantly getting fired for the same reason,
they cut you out the union? I didn't know that.
Make them look bad. You know what I mean? There's a big competition happening between, union, especially, I guess ironworking, union labor in general. We're 85% non-union, 15% union, maybe.
Really?
Everyone wants the cheaper option. So if people want to do a union job and you send in a guy and he's showing up 3 days a week, and those 3 days he's there, he's
Tom, I got to call you out on this. You said via DM that I believe you're interested in like screenwriting and that's your hobby. and you thought about that. You got to tell us a little bit about that, my man.
Yeah, well,
he's blushing, Frank G. You see that?
Well, so you kind of get bored, especially that period of time when I was off, and it's like, what do you really want to do? And, they say you're supposed to know that at 18 when you're going to college, but who knows that?
That's bullshit.
So I love movies, but sometimes it's like you gotta grow up, Peter Pan. It's not what the world's gonna be. So you get a real job, and then I downloaded some program. And I just started shooting from the hip, and I wrote some show, like 7 episodes in.
Oh,
and I sent it to my boys, and they're like, "Oh, this."
Are you still writing it? It sounds like you're still in the process.
Oh yeah.
Well, wait. Did you write what is the first episode called that they give?
The pilot.
The pilot.
Yeah,
Did you? Is that like a thing? That was a thing already?
Yeah. So I wrote a pilot, and they always say, my boy Phil, my best man at my wedding, he wanted.
Shout out Phil.
He wanted to give something different rather than a normal wedding gift. So he gave me and my wife went to Australia for our honeymoon.
Nice.
He gave us a bunch of Australian dollars, and he gave me a year subscription to Masterclass. So I was able to do that. Aaron Sorkin, who's a famous screenwriter, who wrote The Social Network, shit like that.
That's a real boy right there. He bought you a pass to a passion.
Yeah,
that's awesome, bro.
That excites me. And I just hope you don't give up, Tom, because look, what we're doing right now, this whole podcast, it's a way to network, right?
Mhm.
So you just never know. Imagine the podcast blows up. You're still connected with us. You're still screenwriting. Next thing
Absolutely.
you know, we have a guest on,
Yeah.
a director, and we're like, oh, we know someone.
Yeah. I'll be
That's how it
drinking.
works.
Listen, I'll just be drinking a noon and a fancier glass at that point in time, and hopefully you guys doing the same.
Tom, in all fairness, we were slightly frustrated that we were a little late running this live show because we ourselves want to drink that nooner.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I
exactly
don't blame
correct.
you, and I'm sorry we had to do it on a Saturday. You know, which
No
No,
worries.
no.
No
my
worries.
schedule sucks. I know. I'm sorry.
That's the toughest part about
I guess.
the podcast. Yeah,
Yeah.
or in general, just scheduling it.
Yeah.
Which, Frank G, what time are we at?
We are at 25 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, damn.
So that goes quick, right? Right, Tom?
Real quick.
Yo, Tom, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Now, you have the opportunity to either accept the challenge or you can push the challenge off to either myself or Frank G.
I'm nervous.
Do you have
Chris?
Do you have a story for Memory Lane Monday?
Oh, this guy.
Ah!
I wish I knew. Oh, what do I got? Memory Lane Monday.
Memory Lane Monday. I don't have the music queued up, but
Maybe with a little Biggie Smalls, maybe the memory will start flowing. What do I got? Okay, I got one.
woo!
I like that. Stepping up.
Quick. It's quick, whatever. So me and my buddies, we go out drinking, obviously, when we're, have an ID from New Jersey, you know what I mean? So we were younger, and that was really when I went out the most in the city. And we were heading down to Bleecker Street, maybe. We were pretty hammered at this point. We used to go to Continental. I don't know if you know that bar, Continental, which was $2 shots, 5 shots for $10. Which
Oh
is
boy, sounds like that'll get you.
dangerous.
That'll get you.
It's awful, but the best place in the world. It was a
You said
shithole.
10 shots for $10. I'm sorry.
It was 5 shots for $10.
Oof.
Which
That
you
shit
can't beat
is.
that. They would come out with a tray, and you just be.
Yeah, they give
Half
you
of it ends up on the floor. You end up leaving there. It's like a movie theater. It's like
15-year-old $3 vodka. That's what you're getting.
But so we were pretty bombed, and there was like 5 of us, and we're walking down the street, and there's 2 guys walking towards us, and I'm looking, and they get shoulder to shoulder with us, and I look, and I just say to my buddy, I'm like, that's Shooter McGavin.
Shooter McGavin.
Now at this point, they're behind us, and we turn around, and we're like, yo, that's Shooter. We're all going crazy now. 5 guys button down shirts, like, yo, Shooter. He's down the block, and he
He has to hate that. He has to hate that.
Turns around, acknowledges us, and just goes.
He did the finger guns.
Hit us
He
with the
did
solo
the finger
Oh,
guns.
I guess
Oh,
he didn't
man.
hate it.
We went wild.
I could imagine that being one of probably the happiest moment of that drunk night.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Sticks
man.
with it forever.
I don't know what's happier, that moment or 5 shots for 10.
Listen,
Yeah, well, if it's $3 vodka.
well, listen.
I'll take
At that
you
point, still got you.
Well, you know what
Got you
though,
where you gotta go.
when you're like, and I don't recommend this, but if you are 20 and you're drinking, you probably got no money. You probably got to be drinking that cheap liquor.
That's the thing. It's it was whatever was available. It's fine.
Besides, if it's 5 for 10 and they make 2s 10s, then we're good.
Listen, our IDs at the time were good. I'll go anywhere. That's okay. Don't do that, kids.
I thought this was going towards a Miami story.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys gotta go. There's time left. No.
No,
Maybe with a Miami story.
We actually are running out of time for this meeting.
We are done. I mean, this is probably the longest episode we've had since we went
Pre-quarantine.
Yeah.
We used to do like almost an hour.
Keep holding on. Still holding.
Yeah, we're consistent. We realize that people don't listen more than like a half hour, so gotta cut it. And the average commute time is 42 minutes, and majority of people listen to podcasts commuting.
That's all I do.
Yeah, so makes sense. Tom, we loved having you on. We may have to have you on back. I hope you enjoyed yourself being on the podcast.
Yeah, you're the
Great,
man,
time
bro.
flies. You're right. You know,
Well, when you're having good conversation and, you know, good personalities, we appreciate you, man. It's been a great episode, you know, and we'll welcome you on anytime.
yeah, it's a safe space here, so I'm happy to come anytime.
Absolutely.
Anytime I'm welcome. I appreciate it very much.
100%. Shout out Tom. Shout out Rob. Tom,
That's
again,
right.
we thank you
Tom,
again.
Rob, Phil, I think that's what you mentioned in this episode,
And the
buddy.
Fazes.
And
the
Shooter.
Fazes.
And Shooter.
And Shooter.
And
And
Shooter.
Shooter.
Hit him.
I'm out.
All right, thanks.
Later.
Later.